Hi, my name is Madison McIntyre and this is my cancer story. I started having pains in my knee about August of 2011, and that's really when I started to, okay, something's not right, doesn't feel like growing pains, but yet everyone thought it was. So I'm like, okay, whatever, maybe it's growing pains. So okay, let's just wait it out, see how it goes. No, the pains got extremely bad. Like, I could not sleep. It was a 10 to 10 pain. Like, I was limping. I was losing sleep. My grades dropped because I was losing sleep. I could not bend. It hurt to just do anything. Couldn't even work. Kate, you have to do something. Like, I kept bugging my parents, like, please, like, just do something. Take me to Emerge. Anything. My dad took me to Emerge because my friend basically bribed him, like, hey, come on, like, you have to take her, she won't stop complaining to me and it's getting annoying. Anyway, my dad took me, they did an x-ray, they told me to go to physio, and they gave me a prescription for anti-inflammatories. So, took those. What the hell, nothing. And for 6 weeks I went to physio. I think I did it every Tuesday and Thursday for 6 weeks, and like, that did shit. It made it worse. I got acupuncture, like, nothing was working, nothing. And so I'm like, okay, honestly, we have to go see our family doctor. Our recent family doctor that we just had, he had died, so we had to get a new one. I'm like, great, well, I don't want a new one, I want my old one. So whatever. We went to see him, and I personally didn't like him. And he's like, okay, well, we'll give you a bigger dose of anti-inflammatory. I don't get it. Those aren't working. They make it worse. Like, my leg was shrinking in size, not getting bigger. It's not inflamed. It was getting smaller because I was favoring it when I walked because of my limp. He's like, okay, they did some blood tests, whatever, nothing showed up. We forced him to schedule us an x-ray and an MRI. Well, the x-ray was in October, which is pretty quick coming up. The MRI we had to wait till December because he forgot to call in. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So I had to wait till December. Anyway, got the x-ray done. Nothing showed up. Whatever. Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, can you prescribe me something stronger? Pain-wise, pill-wise, whatever, just so I can sleep? This is not working. It's doing shit all. I can't sleep. I missed so much school. Came time for my MRI, because it's now December, huh? My grades were, I wasn't even passing my courses, let's just say. He prescribed me Percocets. Like, okay, Percocets, okay. Whatever, what they did, I took them before bed to sleep. What they did was they made me dizzy, and then that's how I slept. I just passed out from being dizzy. Came time for my MRI, because it's now December, huh? And I got it December 15th. And then while I was there, it was over. It was like 45 minutes. It was the worst 45 minutes of my life because I could not sit there. Lay there in the machine for 45 minutes because the pain was excruciating. Like, come on, people. While I was there, they're like, okay, they stopped it and nobody came and talked to me after, and I'm just laying there like, come on, it hurts. They come in with my mom and I'm like, oh, like, what's going on? And they're like, we're just gonna inject this stuff in you if you don't mind, because it helps pick up on any, like, tumors or anything that could be abnormal in your body. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm okay with needles, but like, just like on the spot, it's like, no, like, I need to think about stuff. Like, I need at least a day to think about something. She's like, if you don't do it now, you're gonna need to come back in 3 months and get it done. I'm like, okay, I'm doing it now because I cannot fucking stand this pain in my leg. Like, are you kidding me? So, did it. Something showed up. They called a couple days later saying I had a tumor 5 centimeters by 7 centimeters big in my bone. So that's why you couldn't see it, because it wasn't growing outside my bone, it was actually in my bone. I'm like, well, lovely. They said it was small. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's not small. Sick kids in Toronto called saying that we should come down there on Monday. I don't know what day. These all days are messed up. So we went down, visited this surgeon, but we had no idea what it was. Like, no one told us it was cancer or anything, but we go there and they say something about cancer, and I'm like, what? Wait a second. I was just told I had a tumor, not cancer. Like, what? So that was a bit hard to take in. I was kind of like shocked and whatever, and by the end of it, bawling my eyes out, because cancer, you don't want cancer. It can't happen to you. Like, you just hear about other people and like, not you. That obviously wasn't the case. After my appointment in Toronto with the surgeon, he was like, okay, we're going to take a biopsy of it, which is just like making a little incision and then taking a little piece of the bone. Like, you're not going to miss it, to check what kind of cancer it is, if it's cancerous or not. So I did that on December 22nd, 3 days before Christmas. Merry Christmas! Like, you have cancer. Fuck. Worst Christmas ever, waiting for the results. We got them, and that's when London called. Because I did all my treatments in London. London's Children's Hospital called and said, can you come down here? They were oncologist group, which is cancer. So I'm like, wow, it's obviously cancer. January 9th, I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma in my right femur, just above my knee. I was given a day off, because that was a Monday I went in. I was given Tuesday off, went in on Wednesday to get my port put in. I had a double port, and then Thursday I started chemo. And all that, I got my first chemo treatment a week before my 16th birthday, which my birthday is the 18th of January. Happy birthday too, yay. Whatever. I did have a little birthday, but not a sweet 16 how I'd always envisioned it. I had a couple people and my closest friends, and we went to Boston Pizza for a dinner. Oh, I could not even sit there. It was so hot, and I would have hot flashes and would sweat, and just one of the side effects of having cancer, certain cancers, I don't know, it's different for everybody, but mine was, I got lots of hot flashes, so I'd wake up and I'd be drenched, like drenched as in you'd have to clean the sheets because there was just so much sweat, and it was horrible. Not to mention the canker sores you get in your throat, they were just horrible. Like, you'd have 5 or 6 in your mouth. And oh my god, the nosebleeds, those were bad too. Oh my god, this one time it would not stop bleeding because my counts were low, my blood counts from the chemo. And of course, when your blood counts are low, whatever, you bleed and you can't stop. So I'd have to sit there, wait for it to stop. And you have to, like, panicking because you want it to stop, or else you have to go to the hospital and get transfusions, and you don't want transfusions, and whatever. So I'm waiting for it to stop, and then you get these like little blood clots in your nose or whatever that you're not supposed to like take out. They're just like really weird, gross blood clot things to try and like clog it up, and I don't like the feeling of those in my nose, so they would bug me, so I would take them out, and I swear to God I pulled out my spleen one time. It was so disgusting, and my dad hates blood, and I'm like, Dad, look, I just pulled out my spleen. And he's like, ugh, Patty, stop. I don't want to see that. That's disgusting. And he almost threw up. I'm like, okay, sorry. Whatever. So, I did chemo for 11 weeks, and then I was scheduled to have my surgery. My surgery would be removing half my femur, because you have to go a bit above the cancer spot. So they went above, so they took half my femur, all of my knee except the kneecap, and a bit of my tibia, and replaced it with metal. So they inserted metal rods up my bone marrow in my femur and down my bone marrow in my tibia, and then replaced it with metal and then cemented it in. So I have a metal knee and half a metal leg. On the inside though, not on the outside. So that's really cool what technology can do these days. Other options were like a rotation thing, it's really complicated, or amputation. I'm like, I'll go with this, thanks. And then, so that surgery was in Toronto, and oh my god, there were funny stories. I was so drugged up, and I cannot remember any of it, and it's slowly coming back, but It was a doozy. So, I was in there for 10 days. Worst 10 days of my entire life. So, I was bedridden from that surgery for, I'm gonna say, 5-6 months. I could get up, but not with the help, without the help of family members or somebody. I had to rely on other people to go to the washroom. I had to rely on people to get up to go somewhere. I was in a wheelchair for 6 months. I don't know how I did it looking back. It was just tough. And then 4 days after I got home, after my treatment, after my surgery, I was back at chemo again, like the really, really harsh chemos too. So I had doxorubicin and cisplatin, and then I had methotrexate, which methotrexate's okay, you just have to pee it out before you can go home. Doxorubicin and cisplatin are the really, really harsh ones that lower your blood counts, and that's what I was going for after my surgery. So that just wiped me out. I was so tired. Like, I have never been, like, that was me at my lowest. Like, it was really hard for me. But I don't know, it just never affected me. Like, I am so fine today. Maybe it's because I don't remember half of it, but whatever. I finished chemo August 29th of 2012. Then I started up physio because I did not want to do physio while I was on chemo because I had no energy whatsoever, like at all. So I couldn't, when I started physio, I could not bend my leg. I could maybe bend it 30 degrees, that's it. Like, it was really tough. Like, it hurt so bad too. So going into physio, I went 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for an hour each time. And within a month, I could bend my leg past 90 degrees and I was walking. I walked October 14th and oh my god, just to be able to walk by myself and not rely on a walker or crutches or a wheelchair or somebody else helping me, carrying me, whatever. It's the best feeling in the world. I honestly give people in wheelchairs and so much credit. It is so hard, and I have all the sympathy in the world for you guys. I only did it for 6 months, but you guys have to do it for your whole life, and it is so hard, and I give you guys so much credit. You guys are truly amazing people. So I did that. I was going to go to school in September, but I wanted to go back walking, so I took another semester off. I went back in February for my first semester back, and I only ended up missing a year, so I'll have to take a year and victory lap, but who cares? Whatever, my health is way more important than school, so. It's honestly not fair, though, what kids have to go through after me experiencing what I did, and thinking that kids younger than me have to go through something so horrific. Like, they have to fight for their lives, and they're younger than me. They haven't even lived their life. It's just not fair. Honestly, I've lost a friend. She was younger than me. She was like 11. And it just tears me apart thinking she's younger than me and she's experienced death already. Like, it's honestly not fair, and something needs to be done about it. That is my cancer story. That was also the best and worst year of my entire life. And I am so happy to be alive.